Hi everyone, this is Dev from Happy Facts Lifestyle, working with the Life Formula to do this collaboration today. If you enjoyed the video, please support the Life Formula by subscribing to the channel and consider checking out my channel, which will be linked in the description below. In this video, we will go over 8 tips that can help you persuade anyone instantly. Let's begin. Number 1. Reciprocity. We are obliged to give back to others after we receive something from them first. If you are invited to someone's event, you feel obligated to invite them back to some other event that you will host. If your friend does you a favour, you owe them a favour. There's even a study to back this up. When you go to a restaurant, the waiter hands you a bill and usually a gift that goes along. This might be candy, mint or gum. Do you think this gift has any influence on the amount of tip they receive? In the study, giving diners a single mint increased tips by 3%. It gets even crazier from here. When given 2 mints, tips shoot up 14%. And here's the most interesting part. If the waiter gives 1 mint, walks away, pauses, and then turns back and says, "For you nice people, here's an extra mint," tips skyrocket to 23% increase. In this case, the way the gift was given is more important than what was given. So how do we use this to our benefit? Be the first person to give in an interaction and make sure it is personalized and unexpected. An example of this in sales would be what Gary Vaynerchuk describes as a jab, 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 right hook. The marketer gives out all of this free content or does all of these small little favors for the customers and then hits the customer with a call to action. After receiving all that free stuff, the customer feels obligated to give back by purchasing the product. Number 2. Authority and branding. People follow the lead of credible experts. You build credibility by establishing a brand. When you think of Apple, you think of smartphones and laptops. When you think of Adidas, you think of sports apparel. That is why these brands are successful. They send a clear message. The power of branding can be seen in our education system today. People want to go to the Ivy Leagues or other famous colleges because when an employer sees that name on the resume, they automatically associate that person with excellence. To use this in our lives, realize what makes you appear credible before the influential interaction. An example of this in sales is the salesman describing why they are qualified to help you. They establish why they are credible to help and that you should take their word. The customer feels a lot more sure they won't be ripped off by following the advice of someone qualified. Number 3. Calling someone by their name. If you read How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie, you would know the importance of someone's name. When you hear your name, you perk up and redirect your attention to where it came from. Everyone is interested in hearing their own name. Most people don't remember names because of the time and energy it takes. By going the extra mile to learn their name and use it when you're making a request, people will more likely help you out. This is because you appear to them more as a friend rather than a stranger using their name. "Could you help me out?" doesn't sound too persuasive when talking to a stranger. When you change it to, "Hey Jeff, could you help me out?" it could sound a lot more persuasive. An example of this in sales is email marketing. When you receive emails and you're trying to sell your stuff, they always use a name in the email, when the email begins and in the middle of it. When the customer reads the email and sees their name, they feel as if the salesman knows them well. Number 4. Building a yes ladder. Look for and ask for small commitments that can be made before you ask for the real request. Humans are creatures of habit and the yes ladder pays to that idea. The more the person says yes, the more likely they will say yes again. This makes for a smooth interaction instead of asking the request up front. Ideally, you want the first few questions to be very simple and able to produce a yes. Once they say no, the person you are trying to persuade will be on the defensive and a lot harder to persuade. An example of this in sales is when you get the call asking you to donate money. They first ask, "Is this so-and-so?" Yes. "You are located in so-and-so?" Yes. "Are you looking to donate to an organization sometime in the future?" Yes. "How about donating to our organization today?" You can see how it works. Number 5. Saying and using the power of because. When we hear the word because, we assume what comes after it justifies what came before. There's a study to back up the power of because. The study had people request break-in on a line of people waiting to use a busy copy machine on a college campus. The researchers had people use 3 different, carefully worded requests to break in line. The first, was, excuse me, I have 5 pages, may I use the Xerox machine? The second was, excuse me, I have 5 pages, may I use the Xerox machine because I have to make copies? And the third and last was, excuse me, I have 5 copies, may I use the Xerox machine because I'm in a rush? The first phrase had 60% compliance rate, while the second had 93 and the third had 94. Using the word because will help you be more persuasive. Even if you are using a poor reason, people will still comply if the stakes are low. If the stakes are high, there will be more resistance and you will need a more compelling reason. In sales, because is used to show the customer it is not their fault something happened to them and that buying the product will fix the problem. Number 6. Using social proof. When you support an argument by saying everyone else supports it, people are more likely to agree. People want to be part of the majority. President Trump often uses this to defend himself by saying everyone agrees with me. To implement this, show that your argument is in the majority and people will be more inclined to agree. An example of this in sales is having testimonials. When the customer reads all of the positive reviews about a product, the customer is more inclined to purchase it, knowing they won't get ripped off. Number 7. Speak clearly and in a concise way. Academic writing is not persuasive at all. They are created to be accurate and precise. People think incorporating complicated vocabulary makes them sound smart, but it just makes the listener confused. If you want to be persuasive, be clear and concise. Get to the point. You can see this in sales in the form of copywriting. Copywriting is the art of using words to persuade. When you read a piece of a copy, the vocabulary there is nice and simple. Number 8. Liking. We like people who are similar, pay us compliments and are cooperative. We are more likely to say yes to people we like. The more you have in common with someone, the more agreeable they will be. To apply this, before you begin negotiating, be sure to find areas of similarity and give some compliments. In sales, the salesman tries to be likable because no one wants to do business with someone they don't like. And that's the end of the list. Thanks for watching today. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe to the Life Formula. And if you enjoyed this video, consider checking out Happy Facts Lifestyle, which you will find a link for down in the description below.